Introduction to Evolution. Doesn't everyone believe the theory of evolution? Well, why would we doubt it? Shouldn't we believe everything that our teachers told us? Well, this course will help you learn more than 95% of the people in our country regarding this subject. This especially includes the teachers and professors in our universities and schools. Well, how can you say that? Because I was a teacher for 27 years and I believed what I was taught too. Most of us teachers teach what we learned in our schools and universities unless we go beyond the typical textbook and nature show and begin doing our own research in unconventional books, magazines, etc. So I'm not saying that any of your teachers or professors lied to you on purpose. But just like me, they simply believed what they were taught. But don't scientists agree that evolution is a fact? By no means. There are literally thousands of scientists, and this number is increasing all the time, that admit that the theory of evolution is scientifically impossible. Literally thousands of biologists, engineers, geologists, etc. are now admitting that the scientific evidence just does not agree with the theory. But I thought scientists were infallible, some may say. Well, that cannot be true because scientists disagree with each other in almost every area of science. But it gets much worse than that. Scientists can also be influenced by pressure in politics. Remember a few years ago when certain politicians were pushing man-made global warming? Many scientists and politicians were quite embarrassed to discover that those at East Anglia University, that is, a university that gathered and distributed their findings to other agencies, had been changing the numbers in order to make the data agree with their preconceived ideas. So, scientists were willing to exchange scientific integrity in order to gain political advantage. And this global warming idea was extremely political. Numerous scientists now agree that this man-made global warming idea was one of the greatest frauds in recent history. And it should be noted that also many in the mainstream media and the school system still do believe it. Many today have changed that from the man-made global warming to climate change because of the fact that the global warming is not looking too good scientifically. The theory of evolution is just as political as man-made global warming, if not more so, and we will look at the reason for this at a later time. But one thing is sure, some of the best scientists in the world disagree greatly on this subject, and the debate is far from being settled. But before we can go any further, we must look at what evolution is. But let's first look at what evolution is not. First of all, it is not change. It has nothing to do with change. There's plenty of change in different kinds of creatures, but that does not mean evolution has taken place whatsoever. Number two, it is not microevolution. Microevolution has to do with the changes in certain kinds of creatures. For instance, there's huge differences between, let's say, a toy poodle and a St. Bernard. But obviously, no evolution has taken place. And number three, it is not evolution as used most commonly. In fact, the way evolution is used most commonly actually is intelligent design. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, that just simply means that most of the time when we use the word evolution, it's things like the evolution of the automobile or evolution of the airplane or evolution of the computer. And of course, those have to do with intelligent people changing things and actually making them better and better in most cases. But it has to do with intelligent design. So, what is it? It is change that causes one kind of creature, that is an organism, a plant, or an insect, etc., to change into a completely different kind of creature. By proclaiming the theory of evolution, a person actually takes on the burden of actually being able to prove that this kind of change could occur and actually did occur. Okay, obviously if you can't prove that, then you can't prove evolution. The burden of proof is automatically taken on by anyone that proclaims the theory of evolution. Well, when you talk about evolution, there of course can be no extreme miracles. That would be miracles that have been determined to be entirely impossible without some kind of outside force or influence, such as intelligence or a creator. And so these extreme miracles are never allowed. By definition, nothing but the natural is allowed. So in the next few days, we will look at the facts that cause all of these burdens of proof to fail. In the next few months, if you stick with me, we will see how this theory fails scientifically in literally dozens and dozens of ways. We'll begin looking at the fossil evidence in the next video. For more information, go to evosecrets.com.